Minnesota doesn't legally require you to carry home insurance. There's no law on the books. You can own a home in Fridley free and clear and carry zero coverage, and nobody's going to fine you or send you a letter. But here's the thing: a single hailstorm in the Twin Cities metro can rack up tens of thousands in damage in about 15 minutes. So that freedom to go uninsured, it's really just the freedom to lose everything. By the time this video's done, we're talking 3 minutes. You're going to know exactly what a standard Fridley homeowners policy covers. The one massive gap almost every policy has that nobody talks about until it's too late. And the single most expensive mistake I see homeowners make when they're picking their coverage, and I see it constantly in my agency. Living in Fridley, you already know this. Our weather is not messing around. We get ice dams in January and February that force water under your shingles and into your ceilings. We get pipes that freeze and burst when it's 20 below. And then spring rolls around and we get hailstorms, straight line winds, lightning. The Twin Cities region is one of the highest areas in the entire Midwest for hail damage claims. That's not me being dramatic. That's insurance industry data. Your home takes a beating 12 months a year up here, and your policy needs to reflect that reality. A standard homeowner's policy has a few main pieces. Dwelling coverage, that's the big one, pays to repair or rebuild the actual structure of your home: walls, roof, foundation. Then you've got personal property coverage, which handles your furniture, your electronics, your clothes, all of it, and loss of use coverage, which most people forget about until they need it. If a fire makes your house unlivable, loss of use pays for your hotel, your meals, your extra expenses while you're displaced. That's not a luxury. When you're standing in your driveway watching firefighters work, that coverage is the difference between panic and having a plan. Here's the one that catches people off guard every single spring. Your standard homeowner's policy does not cover flood damage, period. And if you own a home in Fridley, you know we're right along the Mississippi River and its tributaries. A lot of properties here sit in or near flood-prone areas. I've had folks come into my agency absolutely convinced their policy covered the water in their basement after a big rain event, and I've had to be the one to tell them it doesn't. You need a separate flood policy. It's not expensive relative to what it protects, but you have to actually go get it. It's not automatic. The biggest mistake I see, and I see this all the time in my agency, is homeowners insuring their home for market value instead of replacement cost. Those are two very different numbers. Market value is what someone would pay to buy your house. Replacement cost is what it would actually take to rebuild it from the ground up with today's lumber prices, today's labor costs, today's materials. In a lot of Fridley neighborhoods, replacement cost is higher than market value right now. So if you insured for market value, you're underinsured. And you won't find out until you file a major claim and come up short. That's a terrible time to learn that lesson. If you want to make sure your Fridley home is actually covered the way you think it is, not just on paper, but for real, for what could actually happen here. The link in the description goes to my agency site where you can get a quote where Nelson and Associates, an American family insurance agency. I'm licensed in Minnesota, Illinois, Ohio, Wisconsin, Iowa, Missouri, and more. The whole process